So now just handshake with Frank. So quick anecdote, Frank and Ruben at CES last year, I brought both of them to the desert. You see, both returned. Hi, Frank. Hi. And we drove a Mustang to the Valley of Fire, I think.
Exactly.
So they know each other, and if Ruben says, you better cancel your Vodafone subscription, he actually means he loves you.
Exactly. We know each other since almost 20 years, so
take a seat.
Thank you.
Frank, yeah, before we start, give us a few words about yourself, your role at Vodafone, and the Vodafone footprint.
Yeah, so the Vodafone TV footprint is 8 countries. Mm-hmm. We're having almost 11.4 million TV subscribers across our footprint. And yeah, I'm heading TV and entertainment, which includes TV product, mm-hmm. but as well as our subscription business in our countries.
Great. Based in Düsseldorf, but your organization is here.
Is spread and half over Europe. So I have a team here in London and Paddington, and mm-hmm. A team in Lisbon and in Munich.
Perfect. Our topic is making the operator the default home screen. We're going to talk about that. So when Ruben, it was the infrastructure business and bringing broadband and TV together. Now we look at TV. We're not going to speak about broadband much. So let's assume the TV works flawlessly, the service, right? Technically. The question is, how do you make sure that people watch your service? So how do you get there? What are the stepping stones? You're doing some changes, you do new stuff, so tell us about that.
Yes, so how we get our customers on our product and in our experience is the fast way to get to the content. Yeah? So mm-hmm. we have one trusted place where we have all the content available, which is relevant for our customers, mm-hmm. and have a fast way to get into that content. But if we also look in the development which is happening right now, if you look on our different target groups, the relevant content is changing. So yes. It is not only anymore the big screen, mm-hmm. We have an amplification of content, and we have different content formats coming up, which we need to adapt as well mm-hmm. In our product.
Where does most of your viewing happen today?
So still on the set-top box as well. So the set-top box is still our main device, and I fully subscribe to the statement you did before, mm-hmm. that the customer value of customers having a box where we have this controlled experience is much higher than on the app world. Yeah?
But of course, you're adding smart TVs. A lot of people, or especially younger generations, they watch on mobile devices, tablets, phone, personal devices, streaming apps, even on social media. Yeah. So what is TV? That is blurring. Yeah. What's your definition of TV?
So the definition of TV is getting wider and wider. It is no longer the linear TV channels which we are distributing via satellite or cable infrastructure. It is getting different formats, different length of content, but also different kind of content. And this is actually, I think, a challenge which we in the TV industry, or I would more call it entertainment industry in the meantime, need to face, that the content is no longer only in Netflix and in Disney+. It is also coming up in social media with micro-series, for example, which have much shorter content. Mm-hmm. And if you look on the content consumption as well, in the different patterns, you have the above 50-year-old, which are still watching linear TV to a very substantial fraction. Yep. But on the younger part, they also watch linear TV, but on different, as you just said, on different devices, but also different content snippets as well, where we need to adapt our content lineup for the future.
So you said go to the content quick, mm-hmm. but in your platform. So there's a battle for the first click.
This is the real battle which is happening right now. So we talked about set-top boxes where we controlled the experience, where we are HDMI 1 in mm-hmm. most cases. But smart TVs, of course, and the hyperscalers are getting an increased share of navigating this content. And our differentiation is really the trust we are having in our brands, being a reliable partner over years, and also the end-to-end control we have, what Ruben just mentioned.
Yes.
Yeah, on broadband.
You're all in the same boat.
Yeah, we are all in the same boat as operators, yes. Yeah.
Okay, so where would you say do telcos, pay TV operators still have structural advantages today? And then we're going to look at the increasing disadvantages. So where are you guys strong?
I would start with the disadvantages.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, because when we look at our footprint, and we are in the TV business since a very, very long time, we have a lot of legacy platforms, which is fragmentation, where you have the SU, which is very, very old. We have certainly set-top boxes which are living in customer premises since 10, 15 years, which customers have got used to. They don't want to give it away because there's a hard disk inside where tons of recordings are. Nobody watches. Yeah. Nobody watches it, but it's the human habit of collecting something, and keep it.
Yeah.
And that's a challenge. Also convince these customers, which are mainly older, on new technologies. And on the pressure as well, what I just mentioned, is the hyperscalers, which are controlling platforms with the UI and the content aggregation and promotion, which we try to answer with a trustful and trusted platform, and an area where customers can access to all content which is relevant for them. And if I look on the competitor advantages we still have the scale. 11.4 million.
It's not small.
Is not small.
For Europe, definitely not.
We have a billing relationship, which we increasingly try to expand, not only giving customers access to TV subscriptions, but partnering with streaming services. So we no longer have a sports package and entertainment package. We combine linear with OTT streaming bundles. And last but not least, we have the network, which we just discussed as well, which gives a competitive advantage because we control the end-to-end chain. We know on our set-top boxes where customers have issues, so we see how the Wi-Fi performs in the living room, which is a very good data point for us.
Yes, absolutely. So, by the way, legacy, I remember doing a little research. You were part of it, Deutsche Telekom, a few people in the room. And I asked my favorite question. I said, I give you $100 million. What would you do with it for your business? And often the answer was, I would like to swap legacy. The problem is nobody gives them 100 million to do that. Yeah, so
and the set-top boxes got double of the price in the meantime.
Yeah, okay, that's
so you need to give me 200 million.
Yeah, exactly. That's another little issue. So, well, maybe you need to do more refurbishment, but that's a different story. So, okay. So, from a consumer perspective, I get it. So you control that, you can give me quality experience, you have a billing relationship, and I don't want 10. So ideally I subscribe Netflix, Disney, Amazon through you, which all I can do, make it as little clicks as possible, ideally maybe even single sign-on. That's also something we're going to discuss in the panel that's coming afterwards. That's all nice, but how do you convey that message to the subscriber that's out there in the market in Germany? What messages will I hear that say, okay, come to join us? I mean, you're not saying subscribe to us rather than go to Samsung TV. So how do you tell the customer, what is it? Why should they come to Vodafone?
So bottom line, customers decide on when they subscribe to an entertainment service, what content you can get there. So content is a door opener.
King.
Yeah, to get your customers on board. And the experience need to be, let's say, you need to live it, you need to see it, you need to use the product, and then it creates stickiness.
Yep.
And if you do that right, then the customer stays. But I think the onboarding will not be like we have the best set-top box in the world. The onboarding is through content.
Yep.
And through certain technical aspects. So what we are doing, we're differentiating in terms of devices. So we have a standard box, but we also have the sound box, which is working very well in many, many markets. And we do a content differentiation, but also the hardware differentiation with some unique developments we're doing there.
I think we can spend a minute. So talk about your soundbox, because I think you were yourself a bit surprised about how well it worked.
I have to admit, when I started in Vodafone, I was not a big fan of that, because I thought nobody is...
Tell us what it is first.
Yeah. It is a soundbox which has integrated a subwoofer and 3 speakers. It is Dolby Atmos certified. It is Bang & Olufsen branded, which is a very important piece of the strategy.
Yeah.
And it really provides a very good sound experience where, let's say, a standard soundbar is not better. So I think the product we are giving to our customers at a very attractive pricing is something where people really enjoy it. So we see a massive difference in customer satisfaction, despite the box is double of the price what we're not usually charging for a box.
Okay, so much happier, less churn.
Yes, we have less churn, we have a much better NPS, and also a much higher customer lifetime value because of the higher prices as well.
Okay.
So, we are now extending this with additional accessories. So we have a back speaker where you have a real 5.1 sound experience. So it's a really outstanding product, and we really enjoy the performance of that in the markets, because it's a real differentiator.
Very cool.
And I didn't believe in that. We did a market, and what is also interesting, sometimes you need to question market research as well, because when we were asking our customers, would you pay money for better sound? Yeah?
They said no.
No, they don't. They don't. But when they really use it, when they realized, and the brand was also, I think, a driver for that adoption, having a Bang & Olufsen device for a relatively low price, that drove really the adoption and having very happy customers. Yeah?
Yes, seeing is believing, or in this case, hearing.
Hearing is believing, yeah.
Okay, but still you said content is king, although you said it differently. Content discovery can be very painful, and that's what breaks the experience.
Absolutely. Yeah.
There's no lack of content anywhere, and often it's, again, in silos. It's my metadata, no, you can't cross-search, deep link, and so on. That's some pain on devices that you do not control. There's search fatigue. We saw statistics this morning of, in average, people want to have 2 subscriptions, but again, average is...
Depends on the market as well.
Depends on the market, and you need to manage the extremes.
Yeah.
Right? So how does great discovery look like for Vodafone?
So for us...
Are you there?
We are not there. We are never... If you hear a product guy that we are there with a product, then...
You're out of job.
Yeah, exactly. So we're never there. Yeah? So, and it's always evolving and getting... we try to improve the journey, and there's a lot of monitoring also of the customer behavior and also the conversion rates we are seeing in our recommendations. So discovery needs to be contextual. First of all, I think this is super important to have contextual, not talking about AI, because we will, I think, touch this later. Then we also, when we start up, content needs to be there immediately, meaning you fire up our product, meaning our app or our set-top box, and you instantly play. Yeah?
You see moving pictures.
You see at least sound. Yeah?
Okay.
At least sound, that must be there. And it needs to be, what you mentioned as well, cross-catalog. So we need to have access to the catalog. And I think there's a value for everyone that we make our customers aware where great content is available, which is contextual, and where, for example, they stopped watching. So to make customers aware of that you have in whatever app started watching and can continue watching.
How do you balance? I mean, we talked about broadcast, and there was some statistics this morning also on, I call it lean back versus lean forward, right? So you linear experience, you just sit there and watch and zap, versus I choose. Is there a differentiation between lean back and lean forward in discovery? So let's say I know I want to watch the Brad Pitt movie where he plays XYZ versus show me something I like to watch.
I think it will advance much more in the future. That we are today used, let's say, simple search terms. So we are thinking about searching a movie for something. I think in the future, with the capabilities AI is offering us in the future, or is already there, but we have not fully leveraged this in our products today. We believe that we can have a significantly different customer content discovery journey than we have today.
Is that mainly a conversational LLM
It is
then?
certainly more conversational.
Okay.
Yeah, leveraging the microphone and the remote control or far field like we have in our soundbox. This will be an important part of content discovery in the future. And secondly is also describing what I want to watch, so in much more detail than just show me a movie with Brad Pitt playing in the space. I think we can have much more advanced use cases, thinking about family settings where you can say, show me a movie which is suitable for a 9-year-old, containing dogs, or because my daughter loves dogs. So something like this, which offers much more specific use cases and much more tailored search terms and content discovery, I think will also increase the satisfaction with the search results.
Can you share some AI use cases you think of that you can't do today but will do tomorrow? Without giving away every secret sauce?
Yes. No, but I mentioned this example. Yeah? So I think we are in the beginning of adapting UI in the TV experience. We are not there yet. I believe TV user interfaces will massively change in the next years. We certainly will have to a certain extent a grid EPG or something like this. But I think we will develop completely new discovery methods and completely different ways of finding content. And it will look different. We don't have the Holy Grail yet, but I think there's now time for an overhaul of the traditional user journey where you have a horizontal menu with series recordings, movies, sports, and whatsoever. I think there needs to be something new, which we are...
Pretty much looks all the same wherever
Exactly,
you go.
yeah.
Okay, so here we look ahead. What would you say separates the winners from the rest of the pack with regards to interfaces?
What I just mentioned, I think the company who makes the new experience of content discovery different, but easy adaptable, still maintaining the trust we are having built with the traditional user interface. Maybe it's a differentiation between you have different UI options in the future. You have a traditional view and a more AI-driven view. I think who makes this right, that customers have not a high barrier of using it, will be the future dominant player in the market.
Coming back to what you say about the sound box, it seems you need to do a lot of experimentation with doing that.
Yes, we do. Yeah.
Are you doing that? Does your current platform allow you to do experimentation?
Yes. We have. That's a good thing with our setup. We are not having one end-to-end provider, so we have separated our platform in several pieces where we have expert companies working on the front-end side, on the back-end side, on different components surrounding it. So that gives us the flexibility as well to experiment and test.
So your job is picking the right pieces, coordinating, orchestrating,
yes,
and leveraging your strength.
And having the right ideas with my team.
Good. So, Frank, thank you for being here. Big applause for Frank Rippl.
Thank you.
Thank you, dear. So, oops.